Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you this lovely card, but the main part of me bringing you this card is because I want to show you how to make your own masks. Obviously Stampin' Up provide us with some beautiful decorative masks, which I have here. And they are beautiful, but obviously they're only 4. And I do think that sometimes I want to do something a little bit different. I'm sure it's probably been done before, but I cased this card. I can't remember where from, but I absolutely love it. I love the colours in it. I love this bit of blue that's completely not anything to do with the rest of the card. But I wanted to make my own mask. I didn't want a die cut because, as you can see, it's got that beautiful glitter going on. And I simply used a piece of window sheet and just used the framelit. Let me just see if I can grab a dark bit of card, see if that will show up better. Yes, there you go. So I simply used the Eclectic Layers Thinlits. I'm not going to recut this because there isn't any point, and obviously I don't want to just waste window sheet on doing the same thing. But I just simply used this die out of the Eclectic Layers. Made sure I cut a square of acetate or window sheet that was just the right size, and then I just die cut it. It does crack a lot when you run it through the Big Shot, but you know, it doesn't do any damage. It's just because this is thicker and is going to crack when it cuts. So yeah, so making your own mask, as I said, is really easy. You can pick a framelit of any style, so you could go with the leaves or the flowers. I wouldn't probably do something as detailed as this flower because I think that could make it quite difficult, but certainly using this one, as I say, I was really impressed with my results. So I'm going to show you how I made the card. So I'm going to hopefully leave that there and hope that it doesn't cause too many problems and get in the way. So I've got my lovely layer of Whisper White here, and as I said, I've already die cut my mask. Again, like most die cuts, you're going to have a sort of what I call a bad side and a good side, which is obviously where the die cut is, and that's where the bits have been pushed out from. So I'm using the smoother side, and I'm just simply popping it wherever I want it on my card. I then have my silicone mat. I have some kitchen roll, which is always handy. I have my palette knives, which I'm going to use this one. I have my re-inker, which I'm using Rich Razzleberry to go with this one, and I have my shimmery white embossing paste. And all you need to do, is simply take a bit of your embossing paste. You don't actually need a lot. That's probably more than enough. Make sure you put your lid back on as soon as you've used it because it will dry out. And then I just made a little well in the centre and added, now this has been teaching me now, I think it was 2 drops of re-inker. So you don't need a lot at all. So these little bottles really do go a long way. And then just like you would with food colouring on icing, you just mix it all together until you get a really good, even, smooth colour. And yes, I have decorated a few cakes in my time and made a lot of icing for my children, so I'm pretty apt at doing this. So I'm quite happy now that that's a lovely, smooth and lovely rich colour. And then, as I said, you just need to hold your mask in place and then just pop your paste on. Obviously take care when you get close to the edges because you don't want to go over the edge and get it on your card elsewhere, but you just simply smooth it. And as you can see, what I said about there being plenty, because when I get to this point here, I generally sweep it down. Use your silicone mat as your mixing board, scraping board, cleaning board, any other board that you wish, and just fill in those gaps. And then, as I said, just very carefully then I'm going to wipe this to get some of that excess off, and then back in here I want to just bring this because I want a nice, smooth, even finish. And remember what I said about the edge. So I'm quite happy with that. Now, I've got a bowl of water just over to the side here, so I'm just going to very quickly clean this. So I'm just going to wipe the excess off with some kitchen roll, just very quickly, and then drop that in my water. Oh, go on, get in. That's it. And then if I can just grab my piercing tool to lift this up. I just want to show you how I've got that smooth coverage. Now just there you can see there's a bit of a blotch where it's not a smooth cover. I'm hoping you can see how smooth that really is, but I'm not bothered because it's going to be hidden by my decoration. And then you just very simply lift it off and wash it straight away, or like me, if you're doing a tutorial, pop it in some water. So just dry my fingers. Okay, so obviously you need to now let this dry before you decorate any of it. So I'm just going to pop that over to one side while I do my decoration. So I've got a piece of Whisper White there ready for my flower, and I've also got my beautiful Night of Navy gingham ribbon. I love this gingham ribbon. I'm so sad that we only have this one now and not the whole lot, but hey ho, never mind. So I'm just going to give that a little trim there because that's about the length that I want. So that's my ribbon done. I'll pop that to one side. I'm just going to have a quick slurp of my tea before it goes cold. I make tea and then I get carried away doing stuff and I completely forget about it. So I thought I'm going to put it there, make sure I drink it. So I've got my beautiful flower here from my Oh So Eclectic, and I've got my rich raspberry, which is just a simple stamp on there. And I've just got my Stampin' Scrub over to one side there because I need to put that flower away, and I want this piece here. Now I am pretty rubbish at lining these up, but it doesn't really matter, so I'm going to stamp off and then just stamp over the top. And I'm actually quite happy with that because again I've got those faceted gems that are just going to hide that centerpiece anyway, so that's good. So rich raspberry away, flower away, and while I'm here I'm just going to grab that leaf one. So let's pop that to one side, and then I've got my, as you can see, previously done garden green here and my leaf image. And I'm just going to pop, oh, can I do it? Oh, let's try that way. Oh no. Oh, this will teach me, won't it? I think I might just, oh, that's very cheeky, but I think I might just get away with that one. So again, clean that stamp, pop that one away and get this one. And then this one is going to have the Stampin' Off effect, and again because they are rubber you can't quite see to line them up. It's a bit of a judgment call, but again the die cutting is enough that it doesn't really matter a great deal. So that's my garden green, so pop those out of the way, and then I need to die cut these. So I've got my eclectic layers, so that one and that one, and I have previously, just to save a little bit of time, die cut the little silver ferny bits here that just pop round the side. So I've already die cut those, and that's just using this little one. You can emboss them onto the card or anything, but obviously I'm stepping away from that today just for a change, and I've die cut. So I have got my big shot over to one side. I'm not actually going to bring it into camera today because I just think there's too much going on my desk, and it will take me a matter of seconds to whiz them through. So I'm so warm today. I foolishly left the heating on overnight and I am absolutely roasting now. I've got all the windows open bar this one in here because I know full well if I open it that we'll have lorries and diggers and everything going past. You wouldn't believe that I actually live on quite a quiet estate, that whenever I want to do my tutorials you can guarantee that a bus or something will go past to cause absolute chaos. Okay, so I've cut those leaves. I'm just going to do my flower. So I haven't got the window open in here, which makes it slightly warmer too. Right, so that was quick enough. So those are my bits. So all I need now is, ta-da, from my little drawer, my metallic thread. So pop that away. And this should be, yeah, I mean, it's very, very slightly tacky. I mean, if I clean my hands so there's no glitter on there to start with, you can see there's no glitter now. So I'm happy that that's ready. So start off with, I'm using my little piece of ribbon here. So I want my tear and tape and just a small piece that just goes on the back there, just in the centre, because the rest of it will, and this is what I say about covering up that blotch, because now that bit's covered. So I'm going to add some, I've just realised I forgot to put my metallic thread on, never mind. I'm going to use glue dots for my leaves, just because it is a nuisance to try, oops, and get, other than wet glue, which again whoa, crikey, which I don't like to use on here, it just gives it a quicker and easier way to adhere these, I feel. So I'm just going to pop odd ones on these, and then I'm actually going to use this to adhere my metallic thread. So I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals on this, and then I'm going to pop a couple of glue dots. They're really sticky today. What's going on? Not that I'm complaining, I'm very pleased that the glue dots are sticky, because if they weren't, then they wouldn't be glue dots, would they? Crumbs. Right, slurp of tea. I do apologise. I went to the dentist yesterday, and yeah, I'm still recovering, so my mouth seems to be getting very dry very quickly. I do apologise. So some metallic thread here. I don't normally slurp tea. It's quite rude, isn't it? I do apologise. And as you know, I generally just try and put my, look at this, it's all going to go wrong, isn't it? I like to put my metallic thread on, if you like, a little bit at a time. I don't generally, I do try and do it to a certain way, but it doesn't always work. So I want to try and get this to stay around the tops and bottoms of the flower. So as you can see, I'm just weaving it around and trying to manipulate it as best I can. So, and I'm not going outside of the dimensionals either, because I want to try and keep it a more central bit. And then I just want to cut that tail end, because I don't like to see the ends. Right, so flowers I just sort of stick anyhow. So I'm going to put one there and one this way, and then these little beauties are also going to have glue dots attached to them, but they're going to be very delicately placed on the bottom, just on the stalks. And I do apologise if anybody's just walked in and heard me say bottom. I remember a lady commented on one of my tutorials a little while back, and she said that her husband had just walked in as I made comment that my tripod legs had slid apart, and she said that he was quite interested in what she was actually watching. So yes, I think you just have to be very careful when you say things to make sure that they come across correct. Okay, so as you can see, I've sort of centred them all around there, and then my lovely little flower here will just cover the rest up. So I'm just going to pop that there, and then last but not least, pop one of the medium-sized faceted gems in the centre, and then we just need to layer it onto our base. And as you can see now, it makes such a difference having the having used the paste instead of a die cut. I mean, you could die cut it and you could use Wink of Stella because you'd get a similar effect, I guess. But I personally think that being able to use that embossing paste does make a difference, and I think that those are, probably could have done with sticking those out a bit further, but I love those. I love that card, and I'd be really pleased to receive that from somebody. I just think it's cute, and you can adapt this to any colour you want, so you can use any of the colours that we have to create such individual cards, and I just love it. So I hope you do too, and I hope you've got some inspiration to go and look at all your dies or even your punches and make your own masks and your own embossing patterns. Let me see them, send them to me. My details of my blog are below, and I would love it. I love receiving pictures to see that people have copied my stuff, because it really is quite honouring to think that people have liked what I've made and copied it. So yeah, just come along and have a look, and as I say, go on and share it. I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.